Have you ever been on vacation, super excited to order food, but all you can do is point at the menu and hope for the best?
Or tried to ask for directions and ended up getting a very enthusiastic explanation about the local weather? We've all been there.
Definitely. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to English with Adam. I'm Veronica.
And I'm Adam. It's great to have you with us for another cozy chat. In our podcast, we break down different aspects of language, culture, and learning.
And today's topic is a big one. It's something many of our listeners are probably thinking about. We're talking about the pros and cons of learning a second language.
Exactly. It's a huge undertaking. So, is it really worth all the effort? Let's get into it. I think we should start with the good stuff, the pros.
Okay, hit me. What's the number one reason to spend hours trying to remember verb conjugations?
All right, so the most amazing one for me is the cognitive benefits. It's literally like taking your brain to the gym. Studies have shown that bilingualism can improve your memory, problem-solving skills, and even your ability to multitask.
So you're saying that struggling through French class in high school actually made me better at juggling my to-do list?
In a way, yeah. Your brain has to constantly switch between different systems of grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. That switching builds up cognitive flexibility. And get this, some research suggests it might even delay the onset of diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia.
Wow, okay, that's a huge pro. So it's not just about ordering coffee in Paris, it's about long-term brain health.
Exactly, long-term health. And then, of course, there are the more practical, immediate benefits, like career opportunity.
I was thinking about that. In today's world, everything is so connected.
Right, being bilingual or multilingual can open up so many doors. Companies are always looking for people who can communicate with clients or partners in other countries. It can lead to better jobs, higher salaries. It just makes you a more valuable candidate in a global market.
That makes total sense. It's a skill just like coding or graphic design.
It is, and beyond the brain and the bank account, there's the cultural aspect. This is my favorite part. When you learn a language, you're not just learning words, you're learning about a new way of seeing the world.
Oh, for sure. Like how some languages have words for feelings that we don't have a single word for in English.
Precisely. It gives you a deeper appreciation for other cultures, and travel becomes so much richer. You can move beyond the tourist spots and have real conversations with local people, understand their humor, their stories. It's a completely different experience.
Yeah, I can imagine. It connects you to people on a much more human level.
It really does. It fosters empathy. You start to understand that your way of life isn't the only one. Okay, so we've got brain power, better jobs, and deeper cultural connections. Pretty strong pros, right?
Definitely. But it can't all be sunshine and roses. It feels like a mountain to climb sometimes. Let's talk about the cons, or maybe the challenges.
You're right, and the biggest one, the one that stops most people, is simply time. Learning a language to fluency is not a weekend project. It takes hundreds, if not thousands of hours of consistent effort.
Tell me about it. It's hard to stay motivated when you have a job, a family, life.
It is, and that leads to the next big challenge, what language learners call the plateau.
The plateau? What's that?
It's that point where you feel like you're just stuck. In the beginning, you learn so fast. You go from knowing nothing to being able to say hello and thank you. But then you hit this intermediate stage where it feels like you're studying all the time, but you're not making any progress. It can be incredibly frustrating.
That sounds so defeating, like you're running in place.
It is, and a lot of people give up there. And another thing is the fear of making mistakes, the anxiety. You know you're going to say something wrong or have a weird accent, and you feel silly.
Right, it's vulnerable. You're an adult, you're used to being competent, and suddenly you're communicating like a toddler again.
Exactly. Pushing past that fear is a huge mental hurdle. You have to be willing to be imperfect, to laugh at yourself. And finally, there's the issue of access. Finding good resources, or more importantly, finding people to practice with can be really difficult. especially if you don't live in a country where the language is spoken.
Precisely. For me, when I was learning Spanish, I was so terrified to actually speak. I had all this vocabulary in my head, but I couldn't get it out because I was just so afraid of sounding stupid in front of native speakers.
That's a really good point about access. It makes me think about the how. There are so many different ways to learn a language now. It can be overwhelming. You've got apps, online courses, traditional classes, tutors.
So, what's the verdict then? We have these incredible, life-changing pros, but also these really significant real-world challenges.
Absolutely, it's the paradox of choice. Having so many options is great, but it can lead to paralysis. You spend more time researching methods than actually learning. And what works for one person might not work for another, depending on their learning style, goals, and budget. But, and this is just my opinion, the pros far outweigh the cons, as long as you go into it with the right mindset.
So true. I've tried many language learning apps. They're convenient for vocabulary, but I find them a bit superficial. You can get good at matching words, but not at forming sentences in a real conversation. What's the right mindset?
Right, apps are a great supplement, but not a replacement for other methods. Traditional classes offer structure and a teacher's guidance, which is invaluable. But they can be expensive and the schedule is rigid. You have to see it as a journey, not a destination. You can't be obsessed with being fluent. Instead, focus on connection and communication. Can you order that coffee? Great, that's a win. Can you understand a little bit of a song? Amazing. Celebrate the small victories.
That's a great way to put it. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good.
Never. And find ways to make it fun. If you hate grammar drills, don't do them. Watch movies, listen to music, find a YouTube channel you like, play video games in your target language, integrate it into your hobbies.
So the takeaway is, yes, it's hard work, but the payoff for your brain, your career, and your soul is massive. And the key is to be kind to yourself and enjoy the process.
You summarized it perfectly. That's the whole story. The journey of learning a language is also a journey of learning about yourself.
Wow. Well, that brings us to the end of our chat today. I feel really inspired to pick up my old French textbooks again.
I hope we've inspired some of you out there too. We would absolutely love to hear from you. What are your experiences? Are you learning a language right now? What are the biggest pros and cons for you?
Yes, leave a comment below wherever you're listening. And if you enjoyed our conversation today, please consider liking and subscribing to English with Adam. It really helps us out a lot.
It really does. Thanks so much for tuning in and spending this time with us. We'll see you next time with another topic. Until then, happy learning.
Bye, everyone.